Hi folks, welcome back to the bench. Today we've got this beautiful Restring which belongs to one of our students, and we're going to be looking at the Floyd Rose bridge. I know they're scary, they can be a bit frightening, but we're going to take you through all the steps and the processes with a couple of maintenance tips along the way. Come and join us on the bench and let's get rocking. Right then guys, we've done this kind of thing before on our YouTube channel. You know that we talk about truss rods and setups and radiuses. This will just be focusing on the restring aspect of this today. There's quite a lot to cover, so for the purpose of one long video, that will be coming at a little bit of a later date. Today we'll just focus on our restring, so this will have already had its truss rod adjusted and the bridge radius set. That will be covered at a later date though, so if you do have any questions about that, drop us a little comment. I don't know why I put the comments might be up, but pretend they're down. Let's get looking at preparing this before we start. So for those who are not familiar with what a Floyd Rose bridge is, it's this beautifully scary looking thing down here, and it's what we call a double locking tremolo. So I'm just going to give you the guided tour. We've got our one end of the guitar and we've got our other end of the guitar, so it will lock in here in place. Strings come all the way down here, they are clamped and locked in place, and it effectively, we've got so much versatility that we can come up and down and chew on it and hang off it and do all the cool things that the rock stars do. But we're going to be paying particular attention to keeping this area as lovely and flat, and I'm going to show you now how we do that. So essentially guys, with these strings held in place and the springs on the inside, which we'll be showing you very shortly, this is now completely balanced. If we start to remove the strings, we might get some fluctuations up and down, so we're just going to protect it with a little rubberized mat that I've got here, and what that's going to do is keep it protected while we're doing all of our work. It will not be dipping down. We can get our strings on and then we'll double check our springs a little bit later on. If we do it without one of these, you will find that tuning fluctuations will be absolutely ridiculous and the stability will be here, there and everywhere. Either some masking tape along if you're using something like a battery or a block of wood. I do recommend something like a rubber mat that won't affect the finish of the guitar. So first step, top tip there, get the bridge lifted and positioned and you can't go anywhere. So with the bridge now sort of locked in place, we can concentrate on our top area. I'm going to first just unwind a few of the strings, and you'll notice that they're not going to go anywhere until we loosen these. So I've got my Allen key here. Ethan has very kindly provided us with his, so thank you very much for that, buddy, but I'll probably lose it, so I'm going to use my own for this next bit. With the strings now loosened, we can take away the top of the locking mechanism. Don't lose these, folks. Do have a pot or a dish or somewhere that you can put them. That is one of the biggest tips I can give. The hours I have spent over previous years looking for them because I've just put them somewhere else. Have a pot, have a dish. And with those removed, we can now get the old strings took off. So with our strings removed at the top end, we now just need to loosen these here, and that will then release the mechanism so we can pull our old strings out. Right folks, with our strings off, it gives us perfect chance to clean the fretboard, something we've not spoke about really before on the channel. It's important to maintain for the health of the guitar and the wood and the frets. We want to keep this rocking for as long as we can, so like any of us, anything in life, it needs regular maintenance. We're going to use some initial cleaner now, just get the dirt and grime off the fretboard. We'll give it a little once over. We're going to polish up the frets, and then we'll be lemon oiling the wood. That'll just stop any sort of dryness, put a bit of moisture back into it. Lemon oil as well. This is a warning, hopefully I can get a warning sign. Only for use with a rosewood board. Do not use this if you've got a maple fretboard. If you're unsure, do check with your local guitar tech. Let's get this all done and sorted. You might see a little bit of ASMR cleaning, and yeah, see you in a second. Right guys, we've done our Fretboard cleaned, we've polished the frets and even given it a drink of lemon oil. It's now fully refreshed and ready for some strings. We're going to show you that process now. We're going to start at this end, working our way down to the bridge, and then we'll zoom in on the locking section very shortly. Let's get some strings. So we have got our string, which we are going to thread through. And then I'm going to take you down the other end and we can get locked in place. We're going to go straight in and get locked in position. One string on, in position, and all the way down. We'll repeat this now for the next 5. And we're just on our last couple of strings here, folks. So we're feeding it through the top as before and straight the way down. We'll be getting these up to a relative pitch with our tuners. We'll be talking about the fine tuners in the next scene or the scene after. So last couple of strings and then we're on to our home stretch. Okay then guys, a couple of little tips that help me along the way with this. So we are strung up and totally out of tune, as you can hear. And the reason for this, if we tune this to our standard strings and then move our protective block out the way with the drop, it's going to skyrocket the tonalities. So we're under tensioned, and as we move this out in a minute, you're going to hear that increase in pitch. I ordinarily wouldn't do this just yet, but this is just to give you an idea of what the difference is. So have a look at this. If I strike our strings, we lift this out the way. That's exactly what happens. And you can now see exactly why we have that there to stop the bridge moving. Had we have tried to do this so far without, it would have been up and down, and we'd have had no chance of trying to get this anywhere near. We're going to have a little look now at tuning it, getting it close, and then we're going to set it on the fine tuners. Lastly, I will show you the inside back of the springs so we can sort of see how the mechanism works. We're very nearly there, and see you in a second. So here we have our tuning. We're going to now move out the way and let's see how the adjustment has taken shape. So we are very, very close to tuning there. And this is where these lovely things are going to come in. So these are our fine tuners. We can essentially wind up and down, and that will raise the pitch up and down. With it being locked off here eventually and there, we will actually fine tune from this area here. So we're going to make a couple of little adjustments, and as you can see, there's just a slight drop on that bridge. It was previously about there, and a new set of strings with a slightly different gauge has altered it. We're going to make that adjustment now. So how this effectively works, guys, is these two screws here and the springs will be pulling the mechanism downwards. Our reverse position strings will be pulling the bridge upwards. We have got to just find a happy medium. There's a little bit too much pull at the moment, which is why that bridge is in our downward position. We're going to make a couple of little adjustments here, and then we're going to see what effect that has. I am going to block off our trem again on the front as before. Couple of little adjustments here, loosen some of the tension, and let's see if we can find the sweet spot. And we're going to make just a couple of little movements. I'm going to come quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn, quarter turn. Let's see what difference that's made. And now we're going to carefully remove this. This is very awkward one-handed. Do forgive me, folks. There's our removal. And we look absolutely bang on. Fantastic. So we've got that sorted now, folks. The last stage is to get these put back in place for our locking mechanism. We'll cut off the excesses and then we can give it a final clean and a polish. See you in a second. So we are all locked up and ready for action. And there we have it, folks. One Floyd Rose bridge guitar, all done and sorted and ready to rock and roll. Wasn't that scary after all, was it? We've now spoke about the basic elements of restringing. We'll be doing a full setup at a later date, so stay tuned. As always, any questions, any comments? How would you do it? How have you done it? Drop us a comment below or up, I don't know where they are. As always, thank you very much for joining us. I'm Jamie, your local tech, and as I always say, another day, another guitar. See you soon.